Hi there. In this video we'll be taking a look at this XS smoke detector that has a weird fault. It's acting basically like you'd press the button and keep it pressed, and then release it and then press it again, keep it pressed. So something is making a sort of short on the PCB or something like that. And yeah, that makes it beep because it's basically doing a self-test. And if it beeps at night or even during the day, it's quite annoying. So 3 small Phillips screws to be removed, and let's get inside and see what we get. But first, let's take a look at PCBWay's website, and they are today's video sponsor. PCBWay can help you with PCBs, CNC of parts, 3D printing, PCB assembly, PCB design. They have a module store where you can buy modules that are pre-made, obviously. And they can also make flexible PCBs and rigid flex PCBs. And especially the rigid flex PCBs, I really wish we could have used at my previous workplace, where we were basically using just flexible cables with connectors at the ends between PCBs. So they were extremely hard to assemble compared to these, which are directly connecting the PCBs. So let's get back to our project, and thank you PCBWay for sponsoring this video and for the good job that you are doing. And it's open. I need to be really careful about this little spring. It seems okay, I didn't even know it's there. So this little guy is pushing on something when it's locked through that hole. What? Can we get this up? That's interesting. Had no idea about the existence of that particular pin up until now. What is it doing? Why does it matter in any way if that's on or not? Weird, really freaking weird. Anyway, let me look at this. I see areas with conformal coating all over the place. So there clearly we will not have corrosion because they are protected, but yeah, really freaking hard to guess. I see the buzzer right there, and I see the element that detects the smoke with some light being shined in by a LED in this area, somehow with mirrors, and detecting what comes at the end of the labyrinth. Interesting, but I don't really see anything that's obviously wrong with it. Wi-Fi module is completely separate right here. Here at the right we have the emitter, and here we have the receiver. I think it's infrared, I'm expecting. Through all of these gaps smoke can get in, and normally by the shape of it, most likely the receiver isn't really getting any light, or a really low amount, but a steady amount. And if we get particles in here, smoke particles, they will start to refract the light, and the amount of light received by this guy will start to change. And the electronics, depending on how quick it changes and subtle differences, it will decide, yeah, that's smoke, let's give the alarm. So yeah, but not much that I can do in here. I see a bit of something in there, but I don't know if that is actually going through the protective layer of the PCB top coat or not. So I will try to clean it with alcohol. If it helps, good. I will also try to put some alcohol in the switch itself. If it works, okay. If it doesn't work, well, it wasn't working already. I tried to pair it again with the app and stuff like that. No change whatsoever. Cleaned with alcohol on both sides really well. Now it's drying up. just wanted to mention that hole that lets light go through, it's this tiny hole right here, because together with this it makes a cover, and there's only a small hole through which light can come out and a small hole through which it can go in, and the hole, they are not aligned, so one is shooting in this direction and one is expecting light from this direction. Only particles in here could make that light somehow reach this little fellow, or at least an important part of that light. But yeah, now waiting for this thing to dry up the alcohol. Cleaned even that thing with alcohol in case it was somehow making a sort of short and giving a signal in here. It's, yeah, there are no capacitors. This thing is actually, as far as I can see, a coil, because it has no capacitance value on it. So yeah, there's no serviceable or replaceable parts. Again, I put alcohol even in both of these switches and played with them quite a bit in case something is in there and it's making a bit of a short. Hopefully it will get dissolved and pushed out. But that's about all that we can do in such modern electronics with weird intermittent failures. There's no real troubleshooting from, at least at my level, for sure. Putting it back together, obviously switch aligns with button, so that will give us the orientation of this PCB, because normally the PCB itself can rotate inside this case a little bit. So we need to find its correct orientation, which is this one. And at this point we can come with this on top. You know what? I think that little fellow with the spring is some sort of temper protection. Once it has been activated, like you see it here, normally you cannot lock it back. But I think that if I push this down with a screwdriver, it will actually lock back into the PCB. We'll see after I put in the screws. No, I'm just an idiot. Look at this. So it's not necessarily an intrusion protection to show that you open this up. It's a protection if somebody doesn't like this thing beeping from time to time that it has a low battery and decides to just fully remove the battery. With a fully removed battery, you cannot lock it on the ceiling in its position. When you put back the battery, fresh one, that's unlocked. And you could hear a short beep. I'm not even sure that it was supposed to beep like that, honestly, after I insert the battery. I don't really remember it beeping normally. We'll see. If this decides to stabilize and not blink, means it connected to Wi-Fi, which it should, has no reason why it wouldn't connect. And then it should not give any other beeping for any other random reason. If it still does, then we need a new one, obviously. A bit of an update on this. Initially, I was under the impression that it was still not working. But then again, I did start it, I don't know, 10-15 minutes after I filled it up with alcohol in the buttons. So I think actually the alcohol was still there. So I ended up taking it off and bringing it to my house. I connected it to my network, to my app. It's working perfectly for more than a month. So now, when I next visit my parents, I'm going to get this thing back to them and install it there again. Because I think, you could see it, it's doing that once a minute. The red flickering, absolutely normal, everything. So yeah, I'm going to take it back to them, and I think it will actually work there also. So it just needed a good cleaning. Somehow that button, something happened inside of it. Really freaking weird. And it's again at my parents' house on the ceiling for 4 days or something like that. Absolutely no beeping whatsoever, working perfectly normally. I don't know, test if I press the button are going through to the phone, so everything is absolutely normal. I think something just happened and some corrosion or something entered that particular switch, that one right there, and after I cleaned it initially there was still liquid inside of it that it didn't work properly, but when that dried, it's working beautifully once again. So that's about it for this video. Hope it helps you, in which case please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.